Alright everybody, so today we have a showdown. It's going to be Kuroneko playing as Iku, fighting against Monoeye, who's going to be playing as Oku. So, let's actually just go ahead and jump in and see what each player is bringing to the table as far as their decks are concerned. So if you look over at Kuroneko's deck, it's got 2 coins. Coins are actually really strong of a defensive option against Oku, because you can really just push her out of her high-low mix-ups and then border escape right afterwards. And unless she's pretty close to you, she usually can't 3A to catch you, so I definitely like that choice for this matchup. And she's also got 4 Hangekis, and Hangekis, as a lot of people know, are very, very strong options against Oku's pressure. Oku's pressure can't really do much to bait out a Hangeki. If you get a right block and you use a Hangeki against Oku, she can't really do much except take it, unless she baits it out with a 2A. Then after that, we got a couple of skills. Seems about average. Dragonfish, the Able Swimmer, that's an interesting skill. We'll see how that works in this matchup. And Veils, pretty standard Iku deck. So looking over at Monoeye's deck, it's got 2 coins. Again, a good defensive option, I think, against Iku, because especially when she's trying to get close to you with J5A and J2A, coin can really help build some space that allows you to escape and turn a situation that otherwise would have made it so that you get stuck in pressure. It makes it not so bad of a situation. But aside from that, pretty standard deck. 3 Visors, 2 Tokamaks, and T-Lorbs, and some Hell Geysers. A couple spell cards. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. So let's jump right in and see how this goes. Alright, so both players setting up bullets in neutral. Oku's bullets do typically outdense a lot of Iku's bullets, but that being said, Iku's bullets typically stay on screen longer if she uses something like her B bullets. They work pretty well. Something that Monoeye's got to watch out for in this matchup is right there. You see that J6A? There's not really much that Iku can actually do to, there's not much that Oku can actually do to stop J2As and J6As as far as outranging them goes. If she tries to use 3A, typically it's not going to work too well, and typically she's going to get outranged. Now, what you saw there was, as soon as Monoeye woke up, he actually knew that Iku doesn't have many active frames on the J5A. It's a little bit hard to time a J5A against Oku's wake up, and you can really easily mess it up. So he does 4A on wake up, and now he's getting a full combo for it. Iku's J5A only has like 3 active frames. Alright, 6B. And there's the Hangeki I was talking about. I think Monoeye could have definitely seen the Hangeki as soon as it popped up in Kuroneko's deck, but that doesn't mean he was able to do much about it. It's a good limit by Kuroneko. Alright, and that's the Dragon's God Lightning Flash. I'm not actually too sure why he's bringing that to this matchup, so if there are any Iku players in the comment section that know this matchup really well and why he might be bringing that to the matchup, let me know. And you see, right here, this is the pain of being Oku. You see that for that entire situation, he was put into the corner and forced to block, because usually in matchups, he's able to do a 3A anti-air, but Oku's Iku's J2A just outranges Oku's 3A, so it's much more difficult. And great limit there, great use of the spell card, and he actually tops it off with the delayed bolt. And he uses that to finish the game, and a perfect by Kuroneko, actually. Must have been a very difficult game for Monoeye, so let's see if he does a better comeback in game 2. So game 2, as you can see, Monoeye playing much more defensively. He starts off by jumping into the corner, setting up 2C and 6B, and really just trying to space out Oku. See, now that 6B is out on the field, it's much harder for Iku to get in with her J2A. Dragon God's Wrath is out. Really good use of a tool to do Okizeme with. That delayed bolt basically makes it so that there are lots of scenarios where Oku can't safely mash. As you can see, Monoeye always making sure that he's doing 2 Cs and setting up those 6 Bs before he jumps in, because he knows that getting hit by a single one of those J2As will cause him to get knocked down into the corner, and then he'll lose all of his momentum off that. Right there actually catches him with the Hell Geyser. I suppose you can also use Hell Geyser as a anti-air tool against Iku, but I hadn't really thought of it before. It's pretty interesting. Right now, Monoeye's got much more usable meter than Iku. Really, if Monoeye just survives this hit, he can wake up and do Visor. And yeah, great use of the delayed bolt by Kuroneko, really causing Monoeye to just have to block on Wake Up, and that's something that Iku typically can't get Oku to do because Oku's 4A is just such a good tool for mashing out of pressure strings. Alright, great backdash by Monoeye. Iku's F5A is actually something that quite a few characters can backdash out of simply because it doesn't have the greatest amount of active frames, and because that characters with decent active frames or invulnerability frames on their backdash are able to escape it pretty well. Wow, so Kuroneko actually with a double delayed bolt, he does it once to finish the combo and a second time for Okizeme, but it looks like Mono actually mashes out, so the delayed bolt doesn't come out. Subsun is on the play, and again, the delayed bolt making it so that Kuroneko gets a little bit more respect out of Monoeye and Subsun. Unfortunately, it does get mashed out of. And there goes the Oku 4A mash on Wake Up. That's definitely, I think, why Kuroneko's using the delayed bolt so much, to kind of force Monoeye into some respect so that he can't do so much mashing on Wake Up. And a great forward border escape by Monoeye. And this is actually another situation that is a bit interesting and irregular for Oku. So usually Tokamak is just straight up a win neutral card, but you saw right there, he actually traded J2A with Tokamak because Iku's J2A actually has such a good hitbox, it can do that. And that's not something that Oku usually has to put up with, so it's a bit more difficult to use Tokamak in this matchup. Good limit there, and right now Kuroneko is holding onto a Hangeki, which means any pressure situation he gets into, he can escape more easily. And he actually is going to be carrying that into the next round. Alright, if you actually go back and see that, what Kuroneko just did was that he actually used an air-usable skill and land canceled it so that he immediately gets the level up without needing to do a movement cancel or without needing to wait to block afterwards. If you do that for air-usable moves when you level them up, you definitely get a lot of utility out of them as opposed to just leveling them up normally, or even, you know, doing the holding 4 and leveling it up, which makes you have quite a bit of recovery. Again, a good use of delayed bolts, forcing Oku to stay honest when she's mashing, when she's in a pressure situation. And again, delayed bolt, just more delayed bolt. And let's see, how's Monoeye responding to this? So Monoeye's definitely being very cautious in neutral. It's difficult to be cautious in neutral the way Monoeye is, just because I think Oku's C bullets actually are such a good snipe tool compared to Monoeye's much slower C bullets. Alright, right now he's got the Veils out, so Monoeye definitely has to be careful because Veils can force a lot of melee attacks to it, and Kuroneko actually takes it. So well played to both players, and let's actually go back and take a look at how everything worked out for them. So you definitely saw that Oku was using a lot of Hellgeyser, but I didn't really see much Teal Orb usage out of Monoeye. I don't know if this is just sort of a generic deck for him, but it doesn't seem like it was really working too well in this matchup, or maybe we just didn't get a chance to see it. Tokamak, also another interesting card. Iku is able to outrange Tokamak, and even if she's not completely outranging it, at least make it trade, so it's actually less of a safe option in this matchup. And Kuroneko's use of Delayed Bolt and bringing that here, you see he brings 4 of them because he knows how important it is. It's actually incredibly important to how he played the matchup. He was able to block out stuff like Sub-Sun, and, you know, stop him from doing as much pressure as he normally would have done, stop him from mashing out of Kuroneko's own pressure strings. As far as Dragonfish goes, we didn't actually see him use that skill much, so I don't know. Maybe just because it was such a short set, we didn't get much use out of it. Veils, always a good option. Veils is really something you should bring in every matchup, and Kuroneko used it very well here. So, aside from that, not really too much notable usage out of all the cards used, but definitely a good game, and hope I get to see a longer set between the two of them sometime. So, thank you all for watching, and have a great night!